respectful, and he's never called me a bad name. And he's an author, and I respect him for who he is and how he approaches his universe, his language, and his communication. And we learned how to help each other on these communications of information for the Ascension Center. So he has been a mainstay, and he has I have no one. I'm here alone. I've had family come and go, and they've died. My husband's have died, and my daughter's died, but he at least cared enough about me when no one else did. And no matter how many times I had phones and I don't hear them, I'm half deaf, but he would check on me. So no one else would. No one. I know that sounds funny, but I have phones, but for some reason, and he could tell you this, I've got a number that anybody else can perfectly call, and for some reason the universe doesn't allow calls through. So I've always had an interest and curiosity about things that seem like everything in my world that's outside of me doesn't always work perfectly, even though it should, because if everything's energy, and energy is everything, some things seem to be beyond my control. So everything on the outside, some people believe on their inner self that it's their background or the world they're born into. And so I've asked him through since 2012 to help me, and he's been real steady. He's been loyal to the cause. He's never asked for anything. He's never asked me for money. And not everybody can get along with others, and he and I know this, and we accept that. And he, living with a Buddhist, apparently it doesn't matter what our inner self believes or communicates. If we want to be with another human being, we can find a way in what we call universal life. Now, hopefully we're going to talk about the levels of existence in other universes, but in this universe, because I'd like to talk to him about the deeper stuff of who we are on the inside, and yet stepping out like ascended masters. And he's studied a lot that's been written, and belief systems, and like me, read up on world religions. But here in America, we're going to talk about our spiritual community, so we're not going to ask you to believe anything, and we're not going to ask you to understand at this point, because we're just starting over again in this new world. So what do you care about? And would you be interested in joining me in the words that I've created in my community, in my universe? This is one person. I'm a female, and he's a male, and I love him and his partner of life chosen, at least to exist together. They're a partner, and at one time we used to call a male and female joining having a contract in marriage, whether one chooses to or not. But people that choose to be in each other's presence may be in the same humble home and household, but we distance from others. And my girlfriend, I asked Janet, because we've been here 8 years, Janet helped me start this in 2012, but she was on last time, but she didn't stay. And, people come and go, and Tommy has joined me today, and he's here on the line. So I'm going to ask him to help me be out of our body, but yet look down and understand the physical universe in action. Is why is the world seemingly different, and how it appears to him as matter, energy, space, and time in his environment as opposed to my environment. Now, at this point, I should use words in a language to tell you that of course, I'm speaking English, and it can be translated, and this goes up on YouTube, and people will hear it. And now remember, we're just human. We wouldn't be here if we weren't in a body, mind, spirit, because we take on a humanoid container in order to be here now and be a part of this reality, like the billions that are called humanoids. And yet I like to work and study all the universes and the places in affinity, or infinity, if you will, but I have a great affinity. But we like to think that we have affection for each other. And there's so many words that can take us on a journey. But this is a spiritual community, and the world considers us communicators. And as you learn about our company, American Communications Online, and me, Teresa J. Morris, and my ministries in music and education, we have Universal Life Ministries. And I asked Tommy to look up his Universal Life Energy, but I signed up, and he did, we found out, and we had a lot of ministers that are mystics, oracles, psychics, sages, and seers, even some Buddhists and monks, and good monks that studied 10 years in Hawaii, and some disgruntled monks all over the world. And I'm communicating with people, and I just told them all they have to do is be my friend. But do you know how hard that is, to ask somebody to be a friend? What is a friend? So we're under the category of spirituality, and we'll probably be here until I pass or Tommy passes or both of us pass, because my friend Thomas is about my age. We were both born in December, but I was born in 1951, and he was born in 1952. Now, I was born on the 26th, and I believe he was born on the 9th or 10th. But let me get him on here. And we have to start somewhere. So we're going to start with how we come down into this human form. But I've asked him, and I heard him talking with Namgal, his life partner, or maybe a soulmate. I don't know how. I really didn't ask them how they relate to each other in their world. But their world's different from mine, and I've never met them ever in human form. So if you'll join me now, many people that have listened to me know that Tommy and I, no matter what, we do our best to learn to communicate, and we're very close, affectionate. And sometimes people say we sound like an old married couple, but Namgal doesn't get jealous. She knows I'm in Florida and he's in Hawaii, and I don't even think she has a jealous bone in her body, but she's really working on herself, and so I respect her for her high Lama level in the Buddhist respect. But Tommy, I'm going to ask him to describe his awareness of who he is universally, but let him get on here. He knows we've been doing this, and we sort of have a system. So please welcome Thomas Anthony Sinisi, that prefers to go by Thomas Hawksblood Sinisi in social media, and my friend Tommy. And we're going to record this, and it will be here for us to come back and learn about each other, because we can only experience the now. And so let me get Tommy on here. And I hope you enjoy him, because we're very different, but we're very much in affection. Thomas Hawksblood Sinisi, I see you showed up and you allowed me to talk for a little while. Thank you. Did you remain? Are you still here?
I'm still here. Well, greetings.
Yay.
It's a pleasure. It's been a while.
Go ahead and do your introduction, and then go ahead.
Okay, I'm living in the Big Island of Hawaii, and there's so much going on here. But I've been here almost 20 years, and all I have been doing while I was here was writing and doing lectures and things like that. I haven't been leaving Hawaii much. I only left a few times. But I reside in my little room on my computer most of my life. I'm writing letters constantly, rewriting one of my books, finishing my one book. So I'm pretty busy all the time that way. I mean, I'm only 20 minutes from the ocean, which I walk down there every day with my dog. And I don't have many friends in Hawaii. I don't feel the need to, because like she mentioned about friends, it's hard to find a real friend. In my life, I had lots of people that say you're friends, but even when you move and they don't call you, you never hear from them, to me, they're not friends. I mean, friends stay in touch with friends. You don't wait 20 years to call somebody and say, you still alive? So that's one thing. But my life has been really guided by my experiences, not by what people say. And right now I'm working on a workshop I want to do. It's how to find out who and what you are, why you're here, and all those things. But for real, not just to feel good, not just to be happy and things like that, but to find why soul actually chose to come into this world, or it has to be here, and then where it wants to go from here when it leaves. So that's what my life's been dedicated to, but I've been pulled into the UFO world as well. And all of it started when I was real little. When I was 6, everything started changing. I no longer needed other people to tell me things by direct experience. And by the time I was 25, I started seeing all my past lives. And that completed a lot of the knowledge that I needed to have when I came into this world. My teachings are simple. They don't go along with everybody else's teachings and what they say. I find mine contradictory to 90% of the people in a good way for me. Most people find it the opposite. Well, if you say this, you say that. But in reality, in this world, everybody wants to be needed. Everybody wants to have a friend. Everybody feels the programming that they were given all their life is really important, which I contradict. When I start teaching, when I work with somebody, or when I'm going to give a workshop, I go into what I feel is important to this world, important to a person. My goal, which is my goal now, I put my life on the line to it, is to bring why a soul comes into this world and where they have to prepare themselves to get ready to where they go when they leave it. It's not about staying here. It's not about having lots of money. And I say right off the top, I'm not going to teach you how to make money. I'm not going to teach you how to lie. I'm going to teach you how to abide by what soul tells you to do and search out your true meaning in life, because everybody has a mission. Whether they ever find it or not is so different, because people want to believe they do. I mean, I wanted to be everything. I wanted to be a martial artist. I wanted to be a magician. I mean, I was in martial arts for 5 years. I was doing magic for 25 years. So, and then when I ended up working in the phone company, I wanted to be an oceanographer, which I couldn't become. I wanted to become a graphic artist, which I didn't become. So, you know, all the things we assume we want or we should be or can be, sometimes if you put energy into something, you can create it in your reality. But that doesn't make it your mission coming here. We could believe what we were told. I mean, when your parents, most people grow up in a family where their parents tell them they got to be a doctor, they got to be a lawyer, they got to be this, they got to be that. And they work hard to become that. And that's not an individual mission. Every soul can find its mission if it wants to. And that's the most hardest problem on this planet for these people that are living here right now, because there's so much programming down. TJ and I are different in a lot of ways in what we believe in. We both believe the world's in trouble and it needs help. People need to wake up a little and understand some things that are going on in the world for themselves and for the world itself. But be involved. The only way you're going to learn anything is be involved. Sitting back and hiding from everything is not the answer. I mean, I'm not hiding from everything. I think about everything a person can do in life, good, bad, and indifferent. I'm at a point where I don't need any of them for cheap thrills or excitement. And excitement is a decoy. People search to have excitement and feelings, which I learned a while ago. They're not as important as we think they are. So when we go through these things in our life, hopefully you learn from what you do. Everybody says you learn by every experience you have. Most people do the same experience over and over and still don't learn anything from it.
Hey, Tommy, let me answer this call. This may be one of my new friends in our group. Is this Suzanne?
This is Suzanne. How are you, Teresa?
Wow! Oh, my gosh. It is a new world. Oh, Suzanne, I've got chill bumps. You're really my friend, my new friend. Oh, you make me so happy. Oh, my gosh. I don't think I've even told Tommy. Tommy, this is my new friend. Huh?
Hey, Tommy.
Okay. Greetings. Hi. How are you?
This is
Good. How are you?
This is my new friend. Oh my gosh, Tommy, do you mind if she introduces herself? She's my new friend on this planet with you, Tommy. She may stay till we die. We may have